It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. My name is Incwala alongside Zamanzi Manze. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Babana, and for your top stories at 8, let's take a look. Ingaja from the whole region have arrived at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. Ingaja from parts of the kingdom have arrived at Lutitini Royal Residence prior to the Lusogana ceremony, and all major dams in the kingdom of Eswatini are overspilling. And now the news in detail. Tingacha from the whole region have arrived at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. Now, the regiments were commissioned by His Majesty King Eswatini III on Thursday at Bulletin Royal Residence.
The stage is set for the main commissioning of the Tingacha Regiment, which is set to take place on the weekend. Now, this follows the arrival of the Tingacha Regiment from the whole region at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. The regiment was commissioned by His Majesty King Mswati III at Butleni Royal Residence on Thursday, where the King was joined by his guest, South Africa's Deputy President David Mabuza. His Majesty had stated that he would meet the regiment at Ngabezweni on Friday. The regiment received a hero's welcome when it arrived at Ngabezweni to meet with counterparts from the other regions of the country. The rain was incessant throughout the journey, but their never-say-die spirit was not crushed. Ngabezweni Royal Residence was bustling with activity when the other Tingacha from other regions of the country also arrived. Now, the latest developments paved the way for His Majesty the King to officially commission the young warriors to cut the sacred shrub, Lusegwane. At Ngabezweni Royal Residence, I am Sandile Makanya for Eswatini TV.
Ingacha from some parts of the kingdom have arrived at Lutitini Royal Residence prior to the Lusogana ceremony. Upon arrival, the regiment partook in dancing the Little Incwala, whereby regiments are led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother.
The heavy rains being received by the country has not stopped Eswatini from continuing with what is known as the Pride of Eswatini, which is the Incwala ceremony. The Little Incwala continued successfully and at a very high note at Lutitini Royal Residence, whereby regiments are led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother. Also present were the Makosigati to His Majesty, the royal family, and many other dignitaries. Ingacha from all the chiefdoms around the country has arrived in their numbers to participate in the Lusegwane ceremony. This is a very exciting moment to the regiment, since the previous years they could not all attend the ceremony because their numbers were supposed to be limited due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year seems to be a blessing to the regiment. When the Ingacha returns with the Lusegwane, the nation will come together thereafter on the main day of the ceremony. It is when Their Majesties and the nation, together with dignitaries and tourists, will be dancing together. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at Lutitini Royal Residence.
All major dams in the Kingdom of Eswatini are filled to the brim, and this has been said by the Acting Director of Water Affairs, Koza, who has added that this has led to rivers overflowing. Koza has said this in an interview today.
The frequent rains experienced in the Kingdom of Eswatini have led to major dams, namely Lupohlo, Lubovana, Mjoli, Makuka and Hawane, to overspill. Acting Director of Water Affairs, Koza, says this is now threatening the lives of people who cross and use rivers daily.
Ngenhla kwethu sinawomakhelwane kwiningizimu Afrika kunemadamu lakhona nanawo lamadamu basibikele cishe emahlandla namhlanje ekseni baveta lokho ukuthi lamadamu lawo asagcwele.
Koza says the Kingdom of Eswatini is in between two countries. He also says there are rivers flowing in and those flowing out of the country. He says with these rains, there are a lot of rivers that are overflowing, which are coming into the country, which then leads to major dams being full. He says with the continuous rainfall, the dams are expected to continue to be full, resulting in rivers to overflow. Koza says the Kingdom of Eswatini has alerted Mozambique about Mjoli Dam overspilling and that they will regularly open its valves as this dam spills into the Mbuluzi River, which flows into the neighboring country. Koza also warned the public not to attempt to cross overflowing rivers. The National Disaster Management Agency has also issued its own warning to the public not to cross overflowing rivers. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Mbongwa Dube, Mbabane.
The World Health Organization encourages governments and parents to ensure that adolescents are provided with programs that will allow them to discuss issues that affect their mental health. According to World Health Organization Health Promotion Officer Dr. Kevin Makatsange, he says the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has contributed to the escalating cases of suicide.
The World Health Organization issued a report that recommends that governments implement programs that will allow adolescents to talk about issues that affect them. Dr. Kevin Makatsange, the WHO Health Promotion Officer, says parents should also invest in their children's mental health.
We are encouraging countries to also prioritize the health of the youth by coming up with programs that help to improve the mental health status of the youth. And this include actually setting up, youth support groups where these youth can actually go and actually talk peer to peer and actually get support. And also having rehabilitation centers, these halfway homes where the kids that have got problems with maybe drug use or whatever, they also get the help. And also even prioritizing it in the facilities, the health facilities.
The recent report issued by WHO on adolescent mental health shows that mental health affects young people as young as 10 to 19 years. For Eswatini TV News, Mbongwa Dube, Mbabane.
Over young people from Lindazwe area have received writing skills from the Korea TV and Radio Writers Association. The young people have expressed their gratitude that the project has allowed them to make choices that align with their dreams. The young people were speaking during the last day of the project, where they also were able to showcase their environment project as well.
Young people from different universities in Korea are visiting the Kingdom of Eswatini to impact different life skills on local youth. The young people have been trained under the Travel and Writing Working Workers project. Speaking when presenting their projects, the youth have expressed their gratitude for the lessons they received, especially in ensuring that the environment is taken care of. Some have expressed that the skills will help them in the long run in generating income.
Ingifundisile ukuthi nyalo emaplastic akumele ngiwalahle, instead kumele ngiwasebenzise kabusha. Sakhetha info letinsha ngawo, sabuye phinde basifundisa nekuba munye sihlangane.
Ingqondo yethu besakhe emthanyelo. So lo labanye bahlulile bese sebela kwabo basebenzisa dona legugu.
The founder of the project, Dadol Chong Ming Suk, says her wish is to see Korea in Eswatini student being able to share their culture and dreams.
Embraced other culture or embraced social problems. So yes, I can do it. So we can do it project all together.
Mdumo Mkonda, the community chairperson, says there was a great need for the youth to be capacitated on skills that can change their lives for the better. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni Mbonga Dube, Ezulwini.
Vusani Matsebula has been nominated for the Under 40 Africa Awards under the hospitality industry. Matsebula says bringing this award home will put the country of Eswatini on the map, which will allow people across the African continent to learn more about the Swati culture.
What this means for us, it means we will be a part of the people who will be awarded if we win. Of course, there's other competitors with us, so we do rely on your voting. There's a voting line website, which I will mention at the end, where you can go and vote for us to take this award home. This will expose us and give us more exposure in terms of marketing material, marketing avenues that the award ceremonies are going to be opening up for us. We will get a chance to start marketing our material out of Africa, not just in Africa. And also, we will be given an opportunity to network further, where there will be a database of networking that we will be exposed to and registered under. And there's more other gifts and prizes that we will be receiving on the day if we, of course, win as part of this competition. This opportunity is also going to open up avenues for us to be able to promote Swaziland in these different venues that we will be hosted. Even during the event itself, there will be a 3-day exhibitions going on in South Africa, where we'll be given the opportunity to exhibit our art, music, and of course, what we offer in the hospitality sector.
Coming in from the High Court, the Swaziland National Association of Teachers Burial Scheme has lost its case against Eunice Shiba at the Supreme Court. Now, Shiba had initially taken Snat Burial Scheme to the court for not paying her 15,000 Malangeni funeral benefit after her husband passed on. The Supreme Court dismissed an appeal by Snat Burial Scheme after the Magistrates Court ruled in favor of Shiba.
Eunice Shiba joined Snat Burial Scheme and paid 13 Malangeni monthly. Her funeral benefit was to be 15,000 Malangeni. After her husband died in 2018, she did not get this money. The Magistrates Court ruled that Shiba should be given the money. Snat Burial Scheme appealed this decision at the High Court and further prayed that the High Court should rule that the court of first instance should allow documents that were not disclosed initially to be used in the case. The High Court ruled against the latter prayer, which then saw the matter going to the Supreme Court for another appeal. The highest court in the land dismissed all prayers made by the burial scheme. It further ruled that the burial scheme should pay costs for the appeal. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Mbabane.
Staying with court matters, the High Court has ordered the father to conduct a daily search of pockets of his 16-year-old son, who is accused of murder. The purpose is to ensure that the accused doesn't have sharp objects with him. This is one of the many bail conditions given by Judge Zonke Makagula to a minor accused on Friday.
An accused person aged 16 years, arrested for murder last month, has been granted 15,000 bail. The accused was ordered to pay 3,000 Malangeni cash and provide surety worth 12,000 Malangeni. The names of the accused and his father will not be mentioned, so to protect the accused identity as he is a minor. The accused said he would plead not guilty to murder during trial. He narrated to the court that he had a fight with the deceased last month. He also narrated that the deceased drew out a knife. However, he was able to dispossess him of it, adding that the deceased was then accidentally stabbed. The accused told the court that out of fear, he fled the scene and told his parents about the incident. He also told the court that his parents surrendered him to the police. Bail conditions given to him by the court included that he should not contact witnesses in the matter. Another condition was that his father should search his pockets daily to ensure that he does not have any sharp weapons with him. The court told the accused that violating those conditions would lead to his imprisonment and further instructed his father to ensure he abides by them or he would also face the law. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, High Court.
With that, we take a look at our financial indicators and see how markets performed today in our financial report. Welcome back. You're still with the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. I'm Sandy Boingone. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over and look at news making headlines in the world of sports. The Vice President of the Taekwondo Association, Sizwe Mabuza, says the preparation for the Los Angeles Olympics 2028 are going very well as they identified youngsters are competing very well in the regional tournaments where they have participated. Mabuza says this year they will increase the level of competition by going to the rest of Africa.
The Eswatini Taekwondo Association started a project known as Project Los Angeles Olympics 2028, where they want to have athletes who will go to the Olympics and come back with the medals. The project seems to be going well as some of the identified athletes have managed to dominate the SADC region, where in the last two regional competitions they have managed to come back with gold medals. Sizwe Mabuza, who's the vice president of the association and also the project leader, says they now want to take on the rest of Africa and then the world.
National team selection yama-seniors salo sibuka ukuthi ngabe sebangagcizelana nalabo kumbe lesebavele baselayinini ukuthi kumele baye eParis next year eParis kuma-qualifier lathi abakhona next year nga-February. Laba kulo Vision Los Angeles 2028 sisabuke ukuthi vele kufuna sibakhiphe busy bangenele konke lokhu ma-competition lokukhona kungaba ngilokuse Africa kungaba in the rest of the world. Siyajabula nje kulo mnyaka ukuthi i-Africa inema-competitions la high ranking and cishe manengana aya kumbe ku-12-14 ngenombolo. So uma kuhambe kahle kumbe nangabe sitawuthola nekusupporteka even kumbe loyo uhulumende noma kumbe sona sive leso lesinekuvelana nathi lesirana le program kumbe bosomabhizinisi nangabe kumbe bangakhona kubambisana nathi sitabamikisa labantwana kumbe bayodlala eSouth Africa kune-competition lerenkako lekhona kune-competition lerenkako letaba se-Rwanda kune-competition lerenkako letaba se-Kenya ishe ngilawo ma-competition lengathi siwabukile on the international stage ukuthi masingamane sikhone kuya kiwo and labantwana salo sibaphushela ukuthi salo bayadlala kuma-seniors lead labanye babo have not really come of age ngeminyaka ukuthi sebangadlala kuma-seniors. But I mean, for them to become the best, they have to get and compete with the best in the continent.
Mabuza says this will all be possible if the business community continues with the support they have shown over the years. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizwe Msibi, Mbabane.
Right, we now shift gears to boxing matters. The Boxing Association President Webster Kele says this year they're planning to have more regional-friendly tournaments that will help boxers to get used to playing against well-established boxers from other countries. Kele says this move will also come in handy when local boxers compete in international tournaments.
The Eswatini Boxing Association is on a mission of improving the sport in the country. They seem to be doing that well, as recently they received boxing equipment from the Boxing Association of Africa. Now, in a bid to improve even further, the association is looking at participating in more friendly international boxing tournaments where they will give exposure to the boxers in terms of fighting boxers from other countries. President of the association, Webster Lukele, says this will eventually help the boxers when they have to compete in big competitions.
Le local pool yalama boxers lesinayo cishe seyijwayelene yona isibukile nje si executive ukuthi vele kufanele siwa honorishe ema invitation from bo South Africa, from bo Mozambique, from bo Lesotho lapho sitawumixa khona ama boxers ethu la khona la ma champion la Eswatini because wona a order sekajwayelene kani boxing uthi ngakudlala la nalo that must kufika in an international game ukhanze kusojwayele kudlala nabanye bangaphandle, so we'll be honoring nje njengaloku ngikhuluma nje next week mhla ka 13 there is one le khona eMozambique lapho sibito khona live la seMozambique ukuthi siyodlala khona and we are prepared ukuthi simix ama boxers lapho at bo 7 bo 8 labeka solo are active la sibhakeleni kakhulu kwele sikubukile sibukela ukuthi sibhakela lokusisibisa kakhulu la ebantwini sifisela ukuthula a new pool of new boxers in which nje sinema initiative njengaloku weva nje ngikhuluma ngikuvetela ukuthi kuwo onke ama tournaments nyalo sitawaba nawo local sitawuzama lokuthi every winner vele ithole a monetary prize leta ukhona ukuthi sitawudrosa le pool lengaphandle but usika boxing uyatuka adlala wawina khona lobiyelana ko ekhaya.
Lukele added that being elected into the African Boxers Board of Directors has helped in creating relationships with other African Boxers Associations. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizwe Msibi Mbabane.
Well, with those sports news, we have hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of news-making headlines tonight. Ingaja from the whole region have arrived at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. Ingaja from parts of the kingdom have arrived at Lutitsini Royal Residence prior to the Lusogana ceremony. And all major dams in the kingdom of Eswatini are overspilling. Beautiful kingdom of Eswatini, it's been a pleasure indeed. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, we say enjoy your weekend. Good night and God bless.
Sikhulumile bahlonishwa asimiyekeleni aphendvule sitawuhamba se-evotini bahlonishwa
asekube khona lo tawuthi na uhleli phansi ubone ukuthi awu eMaswati ngiwasitile ngiwathinza ingqondo
ngithi kula kule report ningakuphi because I want to debate about that. Umbuta lo nabe kula kule report akangitshengise le section kunormal kubuza nakaba kukho la akasho lo sino akukho la tibaleke tonke la tinyanga letinyenti labanye